Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Meet the Shoe. I'm Nina.
And I am Sade.
And today we are having our guest by the name of Bunduk. And we want you to let the audience know what you do.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? My name is Bunduk Ramadan, and I'm a multifaceted serial entrepreneur. I'm a musician. I do make hip hop and rap music, very motivational on the inspirational side. Kind of like, your J. Cole's, your Kendrick Lamar, something uplifting. I also run my merchandise brand, HHD brand. I got my Thank God collection going crazy right now, which is amazing. And additionally, I run a marketing company where I help entrepreneurs with their marketing, branding strategy, as well as optimizing Facebook and Instagram ads. Okay. And then I also do motivational speaking, a little bit of Airbnb, got my hands in a few different things. But yeah, I'm originally from South Sudan, East Africa, represent.
Okay.
You
Africa.
know it. Yeah. But yeah, I grew up in Florida, and then after I studied economics at the University of Florida, I moved out here to Atlanta to pursue my business.
How long you been in Atlanta?
Shoot, I've been in Atlanta like 5 years now.
Okay.
This is my 5th year. I moved out here in 2016.
And why did you move to Atlanta? What made you choose Atlanta?
Crazy story. It was like, all right, so right when I had graduated college, back in 2016, I studied economics, so I had a few different job offers on the table, so like jobs was trying to offer me like $50K a year, $60K.
For
I
what? What was it?
All types of jobs. Like one job was in the insurance field, another job was in logistics. I was applying for, the variety of things that I felt more comfortable in, logistics, finance, and insurance were definitely the heavy hitters in the industry, people that's going to really give you a good amount of money. And my, kind of doing it for my parents, going through that school. Because, African parents, they're going to put you through school.
Oh, yeah. So you got to go to school.
One thing about that. So after I graduated, and I had all those job offers on the table, but then I end up just realizing I don't want to just go slave my life away and work for somebody else. I wanted to build something for myself. I wanted to pursue my music career mainly because that's been my passion since I was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
And so it was like, after 3 days after graduation, I just turned down all the job offers and called up my sister who lived like 40 minutes outside of Atlanta in Decatur. And I called her up and I was like, yo, can I just come crash on your couch until I figure it out? And I had nothing but like $200-300 in my pocket, broke college student, just graduating, gave up all these job opportunities. A lot of the job opportunities were down in Florida because that's what I thought I wanted. And then I just decided to flip the switch, packed up all my stuff from my dorm, dropped it off at the crib in Jacksonville, Florida, and caught a mega bus up to Atlanta.
So you just had your sister here, no friends, no nothing?
I had a couple friends, but nothing. Actually, one of my best friends actually lived out here, and he was trying to convince me to move out here too. And he actually designs a lot of my. He actually designs all of my cover art, all of the music that I put out. He designs all of the cover art. Shout out my boy George Banks, man. Shout out my boy.
Okay. So you followed your heart and just went to Atlanta. That's good. That is good.
Yeah.
So did you think you went to Atlanta because of the music?
Because
music is popping out there, huh?
Facts. So that's what really made me want to come out here, because it was like a hip hop mecca, and I was like, you know what? I'm making music, so I need to be out there. I need to go find a studio that I can get connected with. So when I got out here, like I said, I was broke, so I ended up having to get a job anyway. So
what was the first job that you had out there? Excuse me.
I got into banking, working for SunTrust Bank out here.
Okay.
So I was doing financial services with them, and just people selling people stuff that they didn't maybe need all the way. Trying to convince people to get like home equity loans or upgrade their credit cards and things like that. But I just always felt like I had to convince somebody to do something, whether it benefited them or not, too, on top of that. So
what is the most successful thing you've done since you've been in Atlanta? Like, what is your core of making money now that you have your hand in a couple of different things as an entrepreneur? What is what are you successful at the most at this time?
Yeah, right now the biggest moneymaker for me is the marketing business, because everybody needs it, for one, and a lot of people don't understand it. And there's not many people in the marketing field that are actually consistently teaching people how to do it the right way. That's not trying to get over on you, because I know y'all remember like when Clubhouse blew up and like there were just so many gurus just dropping all this information. And I'm like, hold on, some of this information that they're dropping doesn't necessarily add up.
Okay.
So that's what ignited a fire within me, because I'm like, hold on, if other people are getting scammed out of their money, I'm actually putting people onto what's real, and I have reasonable prices.
Right.
And so like that's back when I was charging a smaller amount than I am now. But regardless, that's what really kind of fired me up, because I was mainly focused on music and motivational speaking and traveling to colleges, universities to do that, and selling my merchandise and doing the Airbnb. But then when the pandemic hit, all that got shut down, and I had to figure out how I was going to make some money. So then I started going hard on my marketing business, really focusing, studying every single day, and started teaching people, started running ads for businesses and helping them grow their revenue. So that's right now is making the most money for me, and out of anything. Yeah, like this month alone has been wild.
What is the most that one of your clients have made? Like, what's the success that you've put towards your, that someone bought into your business and then you put back into them? What is the highest amount that they made?
So shout out to my first client, Lennox Armstrong. So when we were working together, he was my first client. We worked together for like a year and some change. And so when we got together, he's an old school R&B artist. And so with R&B, most of the target audience was women, over the age of 44. So knowing that, we know those women are on Facebook. So we just decided to strictly focus on Facebook, because that's where most of his market was going to be. We started working together, and at first his audience, he had 4K followers on his Facebook page. And we cranked that thing up. We got him up to 130K.
So wait. What? Tell
over
us.
Time.
Tell how many years did that take for one?
Shoot, that probably took. It probably took, for when we started taking off, I would say like there was like a sweet spot, like an 8-month period where things were just growing steadily very, very well. And it really took the entire time period. I would say those 18 months that we worked together would be like the longevity of it, So from the moment he started, we were at 4K to the moment where, we decided to venture off and work on our other businesses. He got to over 130K. Who knows where he's at today? I haven't checked in a minute.
So with him, could you explain to the viewers like how, like money wise, when did he start making money? Because I know over 130,000 people.
Right. So the thing about it was, this is amidst the pandemic, so it made it very difficult. And we literally had to create brand new products that have never before been used in the industry, really, because when you think about it, there were no concerts, there were no shows during the pandemic. So for artists, the most way that you make your money is through doing shows. So it was really difficult at first as we were trying to figure it out, but we knew the main initial goal was to build the brand, to build the exposure, to build the recognition. And so he had a single called I Love You Mom. And so we were pushing that single out heavy to all of his audience, because like I said, old school R&B women over the age of 44, a song called I Love You Mom. It's like, it's going to hit. So we started promoting that heavy. And we just wanted to make sure we reach the people and start cultivating an audience. And so that song, we dropped one of his videos on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, sorry, on Facebook, and started just running ads behind it. And that thing cranked up to over 1 million views on Facebook. And it was just a video of him just kind of with a similar setup like I'm in right now in his home studio, singing into the microphone with a cool little background. And people were sharing it rapidly, sharing it with their moms. You would see, people commenting on it like, oh my God, this song made me cry, made me think about my mother who passed, however so long ago. So he was getting a lot of kind of get real in touch with the emotions. So we started to realize, okay, we're spending all this money. We were growing well, but now we got to really focus on the return on the investment. Right. Because like I said, this was my first client. So it was a learning process as we were moving forward. He came to me, he's like, I need to grow my page. I was like, bet, I can help you do that.
Okay.
Right. So then it was like, all right, now we need to make some money. So then I'm like, okay, now we got to kind of re-strategize because we need to start scaling up. So we put together the merchandise, I Love You Mom merchandise. I built him a Shopify store, and we started running ads that were traffic ads that were getting people over to the Shopify store and actually start buying the shirts and the hoodies and all of these things. But at the same time, just the money that's coming from a merchandise brand is not going to suffice to have your employees paid full time at the end of the day, because you're selling $20 products at the end of the day. You're not selling like $2,000, $3,000 products like some of these coaching businesses do, right? So we had to kind of take a step back and re-strategize, and we started doing personal private concerts for people. So like, for example, let's say you had your mom's birthday coming up, we would promote it that way to you. It would be like, hey, since with your mom's birthday coming up, we got the song I Love You Mom. Your mom is we kind of put together a package where you get the performance, the concert, 3 to 5 songs. You get the merchandise bundled with it. You also get the private interview with it, and then you get a thank you card, and we kind of just made sure that we took as much value as we could and bundle it together and then sell it as a high ticket item. So then that's when the tide started to turn. So then it was like, okay, we only really need a book like, if we book 3-4 of these per month, that's pretty lit, because everybody got moms that got birthdays or graduations or retirement celebrations, whatever. People want excuses to celebrate their mom, and it was the pandemic, so it was like you can't see your mom, but let's all get together and do a virtual private concert in honor of your mom. It's time to celebrate her, because in the uncertainty of the pandemic, you never know what could happen to people during that time. So that's when we really started making some money, and then I finally had convinced them to drop some hard copy CDs. So I'm like, yo, that older audience, they're gonna buy those hard copy. They still got CD players.
Okay.
So we started running ads on the CDs, and that's when things really started to turn a tide. It got to a point for like every $1 that we were spending, he was getting back $5 in revenue. Okay. So it was a machine that was self-sustaining at a certain point, but then, you got to consistently keep the top of the funnel being populated, where you're getting more, still growing your audience, and then warming them up, helping them understand your music, and then marketing your products to them. So it's that funnel strategy that just goes into a cycle. And so we were working there, but then, you know, over time, my time commitment and his time commitment, we were putting so much time and energy into it that we wanted to kind of take a step back, enjoy our lives,
Right.
and work on other businesses that we both had that would make us even more money on top of that. So we kind of pivoted, re-strategized. He's more in the finance field, building, and I'm more in this marketing coaching field and motivational speaking field, building as well. But, you know, we're coming together and developing a whole new partnership right now with working with financial lending, private lending, things like that, like, you know, wholesale, people who do wholesale house flipping, like they need hard money lenders, things like that. So now we're paving the way for people to be able to do that, you know, especially people in our community who might not have the proper credit scores or the proper, you know, credit history to be able to take advantage of things like that can create our own generational wealth. So
you guys are building a company for hard money lender investments, like people that want to do
along those lines, you know, especially a lot of people, like, let's say like somebody in my boat who can make a certain amount of money, but let's say they want to make an investment for 100,000, but they're still able to put up like they might not have the credit, but they have the cash to be able to put down like a certain percentage. Like, let's say they put down, this is just a random example. Like let's say I want to make $100K investment, but I got $20K in the bank account. I'm like, yo, I can put down $20K and they'll give me the other 80%, the other $80K. And then we could turn around and make that $100K investment for whatever business venture I was trying to pursue. So that's, you know, a few of the like an example of how it could work. You know, we're still building it out, and this is still brand new. I'm over here already divulging too much info.
All right.
but yeah, we're setting this up. So that's just going to be one of those things on the side that we offer to folks and partner with different like real estate agents when it comes to that.
Okay. So if a new client come in to the door and say, we need help with Facebook ads, we want to grow our audience, what time period would you give them to say, okay, I think you will rise up by 6 months, a year, or 18 months? I mean, you know, get a
what's your time period for each step?
If we can't figure it out in 3 months, it's dead.
Oh wow.
Because I pride myself on being able to help people structure, because one thing that I learned about it is that it's not just about what you want, it's about what you're willing to do. It's like me, I'm your gym trainer. I'm not just a marketer. Like, you got to show up to the gym, you got to have the right clothes on, you got to have the right mentality. You're going to jump on this machine, and we're going to do that machine. You might hit 5 different machines. So when it comes to the marketing side, I'm going to coach you as far as, okay, you might need to have 5 different landing pages. They can all have the same messaging, but just be arranged a little bit differently, because we got to test out all 5 of that. You might need to have 20 different, let's say, brands that are related to you. Like, for example, this is a Meet the Shoe podcast, right? And if you're trying to grow that, we're going to be like, let's target the audience of 20 other podcasts that are popular, you know, and then we get deep into it, because the great thing about Facebook is they have what's called detailed targeting, and you can target people based upon their interests, based upon their behaviors, or based upon their demographics. So like, let's say you wanted to target Joe Rogan podcast, random example, right? But let's say you want to target that, or you want to target the Social Proof podcast. We will be able to type in certain keywords and see if Facebook has those declared as certain interests. You can even target podcast listeners. You can target, if you're selling merchandise, you can target a behavior like engaged shoppers. You literally type that in and allow that to overlap with your personal audiences. So there's some really great ways to be able to execute that. But like I said, you know, if somebody approaches me, it's a team effort. You know, I'm not gonna be able to do it by myself. You can't just be like, hey, I want marketing. You got me? All right, bet. And then be like, peace. And then just check back in with me. No, it doesn't work like that, because you got to drop content consistently, different types of content. Maybe we need you to drop 5 different types of content. Maybe I'll be like, I need you to drop something funny. I need you to drop something more serious. I need you to drop something about your personal story. I need you to drop something where it's like you got a whiteboard behind you and you're actually writing out what you're talking about in regards to your business. So there's a bunch of different ways, and depending on the customer and the client, that we can kind of pitch that.
Do you create the content for the people? Like, do you help them with that, or do you make them do it on their own?
Yeah. So depending on who it is. So if they're local, there are ways where I can pull up on them, set up, I could set them up with my microphone, nice backdrop, bring all the equipment, the lighting, all of that, right? I would be able to do that, for some people that are locally, but now clients are working, a lot of my clients are out of state. A lot of my clients, are reaching out to me because they see me on social media, and we might not be in the same city. So I coach them. I do a lot of content training, content coaching. I help build out the full script for their videos, build out the ad copy for the ads themselves, and just helping them strategize easy ways for them to be able to take control. That's the name of my thing. It's called Take Control, because a lot of people just need to understand a few key things and have a few ways where they can get their content created faster and at an easy rate. So then once they learn how to do that, they can really take control of it for themselves. And then they won't need me as much, because I want them to grow to become better than me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've been doing so much on my own, and like literally like 90% on my own. And so now I'm realizing the importance of having a team, the importance of hiring and building along those lines. So I want them to also understand that you can get yourself to a certain point by yourself, but at a certain point, then you'll have to take a step back and re-strategize with a full team.
What's the difference between Instagram and Facebook as far as marketing? Which one will a person excel faster, and how easy is it? Facebook versus Instagram, like, which one's harder?
That's a great question. I would say if you're trying to grow your following, Instagram might be slightly more difficult, because with Facebook, the great thing about Facebook is like there's a type of campaign that you can literally run that's like, I'm running a specific campaign to get more followers. And instead of, a call to action button below your ad that says like shop now or learn more, it literally says follow. They have that for Facebook, but they don't have that for Instagram. All you can do is you can drive people to your Instagram profile by just inserting that destination link. And then you got to hope that they follow you. You know what I'm saying? So if your content is strong enough, that's when people generally follow. Now, here's another scenario. For me, for example, when I was selling my merchandise, right, I started testing out different age groups, and I started testing out every single platform, whether it was the Facebook newsfeed or my ad popping up in Facebook Marketplace or my ad popping up on IG Explore page or IG Stories. So I'm like, literally, I dive in that deep to see how many responses I'm getting on each placement. Those are called placements, right? And so I learned that for my brand, it's best when I run ads on Instagram stories between the ages of 18 to 35. Now, that's what worked for me. I had to go through a specific testing process, and that's what I teach my clients, is how to proceed with that testing process when we are using the audiences. So like when we first start out, I make sure we create 30 audiences. Like off the rip, that sounds like a lot, but to me, it's not even that much because I do it so often. But we'll create audiences around your Instagram followers, your Facebook followers, your website visitors, people who have watched your videos. And if you have any customer lists, we'll create audiences around those. And then those are called custom audiences. already in your network. That's all you got to think of, people you already rock with. And then what you can do is create lookalike audiences, people who look like that, who ain't never heard of you.
Right.
So now you're telling Facebook, okay, I got these 10K followers on my IG, analyze that data. Now go find me millions more people who are similar to these followers on IG. And so when you put your ad in front of those people, your ads are more likely to convert because they resemble the people who are already in your network.
Okay.
So, and then, there's ways to kind of scale it out, make it more specific, make it more broad. And then we test out each of those segments in order to figure out, should we go more broad or should we go more specific with your audience? And then which age group is working, which placement is working. And as we learn more and more, because initially you're paying for that data, you might get some sales along the way, which would be great. That's outstanding.
Right.
If you don't be surprised, when you're just getting started. But once you accumulate all that data, then you can fine tune and laser focus your ads.
Okay.
And that is what allows you to convert more.
Okay. So, okay, we want to take you back now. So, what is like, a dark moment that you may have had in your life that may have caused you to, change your situation in a good way or a bad way, like make you go harder at getting some money or make you fall back and appreciate family a little bit more? You have any children?
Nah, I don't have any children. I'm no kids. Nah.
He said, nope, not yet.
Nah, definitely not yet. I'm going to build an empire before I have my kids. But man, well, I actually kind of got to take you back. So when I was born, my family escaped the war in Sudan. And there was a war between the North and the South. And there was a war that lasted 27 years, another one that lasted 17 years. Wow. So it was a lot of turmoil out there. So my parents were literally had to escape like gunfire, bombs being fired from miles away towards their villages where they lived and things like that. And so they escaped there and went to Cairo, Egypt. I was born in Cairo, Egypt, but I was a 13-pound baby. So when my mom was birthing me, I got stuck in the womb. My shoulders were too wide. I got stuck in the womb, lost all oxygen, and they just had to force me out of my mom's womb. It was crazy. And with the force that they forced me out with, it caused me to have what's called a brachial plexus injury, where my muscles and my nerves on my right side separated from my spine, so I have very limited use of my right arm. So like I can't lift my arm above my head. My hand, I can't rotate it like this, so I have to do it majority like when I'm making beats on the keyboard, I got to use one hand. When I'm typing, I'm using one hand. Like majority of things I'm doing it with one hand. Driving, so I got over the period of my life, like I had to learn to do things very differently, and I had to kind of just deal with people not necessarily fully understanding my battles day to day, right? Whether I'm just putting on clothes, getting ready, and they're like, yo, hurry up, what's taking you so long? I'm like, yo, it's going to take me a little bit longer than it takes the average person. But just going through that, right? It's like a consistent battle, because I have to, over time, I had to just decide to be more comfortable with like being in front of the camera, being more comfortable with telling the story, being more comfortable with just being myself, like, and growing up in America, I came to Jacksonville, Florida when I was 2 years old. So I pretty much grew up in America my whole life. But I still had a strong South Sudanese influence in my life, because my parents never let me forget where we came from. And so with that being the case, I always had to kind of like fight for who I am, because it's like growing up, the black people don't really rock with you because you're not really black. And then the white people don't rock with you because they look at you like you black at the same time. So it's like playing that awkward middle. But regardless, I was still able to, proceed throughout life, kind of, definitely got bullied and had to just overcome those. But to answer your question, I ain't gonna lie, like at the top of 2019, I was leaving the studio, and it was crazy because I already can't really use my right arm. And I haven't even shared this story in public yet. But I was driving home from the studio. I was up to like 6 a.m. at the studio going hard. And I was tired. And I'm just driving and it was raining a little bit. And I'm coming off the exit. And my car just spins out on the highway. Oh, wow. Spins out. I spin and I try to overcorrect. And next thing I know, I'm on the highway and I'm facing oncoming traffic and 4 cars just like pass by me. And I'm just like, oh, snap. And then I was lucky enough, thank God. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like the motto. I was lucky enough that all those cars missed me. And then there was just an empty gap in traffic out of nowhere. There was just an empty gap. Right. And then like I'm facing oncoming traffic and I just like say, oh snap, I'm pulling over to the side. And I like I pull it over to the side, but I'm still facing backwards. And as soon as I pull over to the side, cars start coming non-stop speeding. And I'm just like, dang, how am I going to turn around? Right. How am I going to get home? And I'm just like, first of all, I had to get myself together because I was just like, oh my God, I could have just died. Right. And I was real shaken up. But then, I literally reversed for like half a mile down the shoulder of the road till I got to the next exit where I was able to turn around. And then got home, went to sleep. And when I woke up, like I told you, I couldn't already use my right arm to its full capacity. I woke up and I couldn't really move my left arm. And I was like devastated. I was destroyed because I was like, yo, now I can't use neither one of my arms. And like, I went into a real dark space during that time. And like, it was also at the top of the pandemic where I had to cancel all of my motivational speaking engagements, could cancel all of my rap shows, shut down my Airbnb. Merchandise wasn't selling. So that was literally the bulk of my money was just done.
How did you come out of that?
Yo, you know what I'm saying? My girl, she really held me down during that time. Amen. And
look what women do.
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of helped me process through those feelings and process through those dark thoughts because like I got to a point where I was just like, oh my God, what's the point anymore? Like I was working so hard for everything. Everything was finally going good. And then I like the rug just got pulled from under my feet. And I was like, and now I can't use both of my arms. What am I going to do? Cause like, and then like, as I think back, like when I spun out, it was such a impact when I hit the side of the window. Like I hit my head on the window and my shoulder kind of like hit the side of the car as well at a pretty like twice. So it was like I didn't feel it because of all the adrenaline, but then when I woke up in the morning I was in pain and I just couldn't lift up my left arm and I was like it was terrible. I ain't gonna lie, that was real terrible, but I was able to process it with the help of my girl, man. Shout out Corey Janae, that's my baby.
Hey, shout out Corey Janae, you said?
Yeah.
Good job, girl.
So I was able to process through that, stay strong, stay more focused, and she really held me down. But I just needed bed rest, and after I rested a lot more, I was able to. I just
fully recovered on your left side.
Okay. Yeah, fully recovered. So I thank God for that.
You've been there 5 years now. Have you worked with any big time musicians, celebrity or
who's the most important client?
I ain't gonna say yet, but
speak it into existence.
I have a couple of deals with some people that have won Grammys.
Okay.
So I'm working on putting together some packages for them, and we'll see what happens, but yeah, for right now, I've been more strategizing around helping my entrepreneurs that are out there, trying to get it, because I'm realizing the power it is. It's like being able to show somebody how to market better, helps them get more money to their business, which changes the lifestyle that they're able to put for their kids, for their significant others, and just overall their life, because some people, this is their livelihood. Right. And that extra, even if it's an extra $200 to $300, or if it's an extra 5,000 to 10,000 that you're making, whatever scale you're at, by learning marketing and allowing yourself to take control and really take things to the next level, as far as understanding a whole different facet of your business that you haven't been caring for as much, that transforms so much, and it drips out into everything.
Okay. So this part of the episode, at the end, we always ask the guests, is there a point in your life that you felt like he didn't say that that you felt like you would have done something to go to prison, or something that stopped you from going to prison? Yes. He didn't say nothing about that.
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
No, I'm saying it could have been
all the way a buck. I would keep it all the way a buck. Like, okay. Let me tell you.
Yeah, think about it.
I used to run when I remember when I came out to Atlanta, I started bouncing around from different jobs because a lot of them wasn't giving me time off and stuff like that to go to my speaking engagements and shows. And so I found another job, and I was interning at the studio, going back and forth. I'm at the studio till like 3 a.m. and stuff like that, showing up to work late in the morning. So stopped working there. And then I got into my partner. The studio introduced me into a moving company, and so we were out there partnering with U-Haul, doing moves and all that, right? So I'm driving out to one of these outskirt cities in Georgia. I'm driving out there, whoop, I get pulled over for speeding. I'm like, whatever, cool. I take the ticket, we go do our job, come back and everything. I completely forget about the ticket. And when you forget about a ticket, your license gets suspended. Oh. And so I'm riding around. I'm in South Atlanta. It's like I think it was like a Labor Day weekend. It was some holiday weekend, right? I'm just cruising. I'm doing 55 and a 30, and I don't know, like, I used to be a speed driver, but I don't do that anymore. I'm more laid back and chill. So I was driving. I get pulled over to. Actually, they started tailing me, and then they didn't pull me over till I got on the highway. And I was just like, oh, snap. And then he pulls me over, and he's like, your license is suspended. And I was like, what? And he could have took me to jail. You know what I'm saying? The cop could have took me to jail. He could have impounded the whip. Oh, man. All that. And it was a holiday weekend. So, I wouldn't have got out till like Monday, Tuesday. It was like a Thursday, Friday. And so, but he was cool enough, to be like, all right, just go ahead, call somebody. At first he wasn't even going to give me a ticket for the suspended license. He was just showing so much love. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't had time. It was a holiday, you said.
Right.
He had time for that paperwork for you.
Right, and then I ended up calling one of my homegirls. She ended up come scooping me up from the location that I got pulled over at. So I dodged a bullet right there.
Okay, you did.
I had a few other close calls like that, but not like that, I should say. But I had a few other close calls that I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. I was always around people. Like, I know people that went to jail for life. I know people that have been in and out of jail multiple times, just because of, what they got involved in, whether it be, drugs, theft, or, whatever, breaking and entering, crazy stuff like that, that I could have got involved in. But, thank God I didn't, and I get ever caught up with that. But there was definitely some close calls, and I'm blessed.
That's right. Thank you for tuning in with us, for being on this interview. Thank you. And make sure you send us all your information so we can attach your links onto your interview.
Oh yeah. Let me close it out by saying Holla at your boy. My name is Bunduk. I'm very friendly, as y'all can tell. We can chop it up. Everybody who's watching this podcast, I'm gonna give you a free 15-minute, 30-minute consultation. If you tell me that you came through Meet the Shoe, I'm gonna give you some game, give you some free game just so you can get yourself up and going, up and started. You can follow me on Instagram at BUNDUKE. They're going to put it down there. I already know y'all follow it.
That's right.
You can check out the brand, HHD brand. Get your Thank God merchandise. We're about to go crazy for Thanksgiving. We got our big Thanksgiving campaign starting up for Black Friday too. Yes. So tap in with that and support these ladies. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
See you soon.
All right. Thank y'all. Peace.
Bye-bye.